It's time for Oh So Inspired, you guys. That's right, it's the 20th. And this month we have a special guest that we're featuring, which is Terry Walker. And this is her website, her blog, where she made the piece that we're all casing today. She also has an Instagram. We have a playlist, and it's all listed in the description box down below. She even had a process video for her card. Here are the supplies I'm using today. This is a grunge kit from Sweet Pea Curiosities. Then I pulled out an oldie but goodie, which are these mixed media papers that I like to make. I make these on Canson XL watercolor paper, and I use these infusions, which are like granulated pigment, and you just sprinkle these down on the paper, spritz it with water, and make magic happen. I also made one of those sheets with watercolor, so if you don't have the pigments, you can get a similar effect with watercolors. I found this piece of scrapbook paper, which I'm cutting down to 4x6. I'm going to make two 5x7 cards with you guys today. And then I'm going to use these strips, and I'm not going to cut the length down. I'm just cutting the width down. And they are varying widths, anywhere from 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch to, something slightly less than that. And I think one of them might even be like 3/4 inch. So it just varies. This is a great card design if you have a lot of scraps. You wouldn't have to use brand new sheets of paper from your stash. You could definitely use scraps, but I really wanted this grungy paper with that grunge ephemera, and just to mix things up. So the first thing that I did was kind of create two anchor points with the wider strips. So that's what I'm doing here. And all I had done was put the strip down and cut it off on the edge. I'll show you on this one card how I did my strips. There really wasn't a science to it, really, other than getting these anchor points made, and then from there I actually changed it up between the two cards. And here I'm just looking and seeing how my ephemera is going to line up with it, even though I decided in the end to put my ephemera in a different spot anyways. So I thought this design, I was really torn, you guys. I wanted to do something very monochromatic with just monochromatic paper and embossing folders. But then, I don't know, the grunge was calling me, so I went grunge. But I want to come back and revisit this design again and play around with monochromatic color schemes and embossing folders, because I think that would just be so much fun. Now, I am doing my strips in any which way that I feel drawn, and so I just keep switching it up. Miss Terry, had a very different approach, but although our approaches are different, our results are different, they're still similar. I just went the fly by the seat of my pants way, and I think she had a much more detailed planned way of getting this effect. I did space my strips out because I wanted to see that patterned paper behind them, and so those are spaced out, and every time I put a piece down, then I trim off the top and keep those extra pieces. Like this was a cutoff piece, because you can use those to go back in and fill in any gaps that you may have, like this one here. And I even thought about using some of the cutoffs on the inside of the cards, but I didn't. And see how on this one I did all gold strips going the same way? That was just something fun and different that I played around with, but I really like both of these so much. So then I brought in this grunge ephemera, and just brought in a couple of pieces. And once I got here, I was like, I really want flowers. So I went to my ephemera folder and I pulled out some random flowers, And once I had the flowers down, then I wanted to add some like people, like Tim Holtz people, but these are actually Dreams Etc. And they're from a printable from Dreams Etc. And I thought that both of those just went really well. And once I had them on these card fronts, these really made me think of like Mother's Day cards. And I love this vintage grunge look. I really like these cards, the color palette, just all of the layering, everything. So once I have my layers kind of where I want them, then I just take my glue and tack the layers next to each other. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just using a little bit of glue to tack all the pieces together, and that way I can go in and then add more glue to really firm things up and get these into one piece. Now I'm going to use some cardboard today, some recycled cardboard to pop up these pieces. It's cheap. Everyone has it, and it saves me from using a bunch of foam tape. It's very effective. Now this is a thick piece of corrugated foam, but you know, this wouldn't be a great card to necessarily mail off, but it will be wonderful to hand someone or include in a gift. Or if you're mailing a box, you could put it in a box. I just wouldn't necessarily put it in an envelope. Now I'm going to show you, if you have thick corrugated board like me, you can definitely mash it down before you glue it down. And you definitely want to do it before you glue it, because nothing is mashing down once you've glued both sides. The cardboard, that's the beauty of it. It won't like compress once you've got it glued down. But if you want to compress it beforehand, you can, and get a little less dimension, and it really does make a difference, but it's still popped up. So I'm going to try to show you, but it's very hard to show you the difference there of just what a difference it makes to compress your cardboard. Just an option there for you guys to keep in mind. I am making 5x7 cards today, so these are my 5x7 card bases. And let's do a little something different for the inside. I am cutting another piece off of this scrap, which these are now 2x12. And I will cut this 2x12 down to 7x2 and 5x2. I'm just making that one cut though at the 7-inch mark. Okay, and I'm going to use both of those scraps. This is another printable, and it's actually from Sweet Pea Curiosities as well. And I printed 2 of these to a page. I love taking these junk journal printables that are supposed to be an entire sheet of 8.5 by 11. I print 2 copies to my page, and they make awesome 5x7 backgrounds. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just going to take this and trim it down to 5x7. And these are going to go on the inside of my cards. I thought the color was beautiful. The florals, of course, for me, I'm a junkie for florals. So I love that too. And I'm going to take these and layer up the inside of our cards here. I'm actually going to be creating pockets and a background, and it's just super fun. So I took the 2x4 piece here. It's longer than that. Sorry, it's 2x5. I can add. So I took my 2x5 and put it over there, and you can make that a pocket, but I just glued it all the way down. I took my 5x7 and put it on the other side as a full panel background for the inside of my card. And then I'm going to turn this other 2x7 piece into a pocket by just gluing 3 sides. And I thought this was fun because you could include photographs in with your card, or a letter. Maybe, you know, you can write more and put it in a letter inside of your card. I just like adding something different for the insides of my cards. So here are the 2 cards that I made today. absolutely loved this design. It was so fun casing Terry's card. I cannot wait to see what everyone else on the team has created. So please follow the playlist, see what the creative team has come up with, and I hope that you'll give these a try. You can play along and use the hashtag and share how you were inspired. You can be inspired by layout, colors, anything that the card just inspires for you. Thank you so much for watching my video today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.